level. Okay, so let us first take a program. So I will write. I will add, by the way, these programs on the group so that you also can try them at your end. So in X. So let us first write this very simple code, like which is integer I, printf, enter value of I. Scanf %d ampersand I, printf. Fine. So this is code that we wrote. So pretty simple. So let us add here hash include stdio.h. Okay, and let us write here in the main. Simply to avoid warnings, return 0. Fine. So let us save this. Now, like what generally we do is we compile program like this. Maths. Sorry. Demo. .c. Okay. And it generates an executable for you. So executable is like this. A.out. So suppose if I execute this program, it is asking me value for I. So suppose I give 4, then it says value of I is 4. Now it looks very simple, correct? So what is the value that we gave? It printed the value. But what is happening at that end? Okay, let us try to see that. So like if at all I want, like if you see what are the file that got generated, if you use file command. So what did file command does? Man file. This file tells you, like file command tells you type of the file, correct? Now my machine, what are the laptop that I'm using is a 64-bit machine, correct? Now on the 64-bit machine, I can create a 64-bit file or 32-bit file. So if I write file a.out, so you will see that it tells me ELF. This ELF means executable and linkable file, 64-bit LSB shared object, correct? And it says dynamically linked and so on. Can adds not stripped. Okay, so let me write the GCC command again, and I will add only this M32. Fine. I will add this M32. And if I fire this again, you will see that it is 32-bit. So if I remove this, it is 64-bit. Fine. Now read these two texts. ELF 32-bit LSB shared object, so on dynamically linked. Same thing. 64-bit only 32-bit is replaced by 64-bit shared object. This is Intel 80386. It is 8x86 64. Then dynamically linked, correct, and not strict. Now if you see, let us take a 32-bit file. Okay, now if you see size of this ls-l a.out, what is the size? This is size, by the way. Okay, 15680. Sorry, yeah, 680. So now if I wish to decrease this size, what can I do? There is a command, like you must have seen, it adds this not stripped, correct? Can you see this word? Here also it is added, not stripped. Now when we created executable with 32-bit, we got 15680. So if I write 64-bit, like if I don't write anything, it is by default 64-bit. If I see this, now you definitely can see difference in the size, correct? File size. This is 64-bit. This is 32-bit. So let us first try strip command. So if I write man strip, what it says, discard symbols and other data from object files. So some unnecessary data is there which is added in the file. Even if you delete that, even if you remove that data, your executable will not get hampered. So suppose if I generate a 32-bit file and if I execute my code, sorry. So I gave 45, displayed 45. Now let me generate 64-bit. Let me execute 67. So both the files are getting executed, correct? So now, sorry, since connectivity gone, please wait. One minute. Huh? There is an issue with Wi-Fi. Yeah. Yes, I'm back. Yeah. Yeah. So what I did simply, like if I create a 32-bit file, this was created by me 32-bit file. So I executed it. I gave input 45. It displayed 45. Now if I remove that M32 and if I generate 64-bit file, I can see that both of them are getting executed. And we saw the size even 15680, 1680. So both the files are giving you same output, though the file size is different because the object code generated, whether it is 32-bit or 64-bit, that is the difference only. So if I use strip command, now I am having this file currently, this a.out is my 64-bit. This was 64-bit file, correct? On what basis I am saying that? Because I haven't written here dash M32. I haven't written here dash M32. That's why I can say that it is a 64-bit file. So if I write maths demo dot, sorry, our executable name. So right here dot slash a dot out. Okay, now if you see, recall rather, this was a 64-bit file generated. And what was the size? 16808. Am I right? Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Now suppose like what I did was I stripped it. Now if I check file command again, now see the text change. Earlier it was not stripped. Now you can see that it is stripped. Correct. Now if I check the size, so let us write ls-l a.out. Now see the size. This was your original. This was 64-bit file, correct? Now when we stripped it, one can see that there is a huge change. 14472. Similarly, suppose if I create a 32-bit file, so dash M32, correct? And if I check file size, it is 15680. Let me strip it. Let me check file size. So these many bytes are sufficient for a 32-bit file to generate that output. What is the output that we saw? This kind of output. Correct, but you can see that nearly, like if you try to compute difference between them, the earlier file size was 15680 and uh, it is 13764. Correct. So when we stripped uh, when we stripped it, we got this size. So nearly, if you carefully see, nearly 2000 bytes are extra, which are not necessary at all. So even if they are there, it is not going to hamper. Even if you remove them, it is not going to hamper. Correct. So if you execute that file now after stripped even, it is displaying the same output. Correct. Similarly, like if I want to debug this code, so let me generate a 32-bit file. I don't know whether you have debugged any C code, but now let us see this. So this is your file. which original size was 1568. We got it. Now if I write GDB, this is a debugger used by Linux, basic Linux or Unix debugger. Okay. And like when you join industry, probably I'm hoping that every one of you would be joining industry, IT industry. There, at one point of time, you definitely would be debugging the code. Or some of you must have had an experience of what happens when you debug the code, correct? So let me give you that test. So if I write GDB ./a.out, simply write this. Now you will see a text written there. No debugging symbol found. Correct. So like we cannot debug that code. That's what it says. No debugging symbols found. So what is to be done? So whatever you write here, this program name.c -m32, you can keep dash m, like you can remove that too. But I would like to demonstrate you that with 32-bit one. Okay. So like here you have to only write this -g. Now remember, like when we haven't written -g, file size was 15680, correct? Now, if I see the file size, see file size, it is 18,000 bytes. Suddenly, like 15680 plus something came into picture. So nearly more than 2000 bytes are added. And these are basically for the debugging purpose. Now, if I write GDB a.out, now see the difference. Here we saw no debugging symbols found. Now here you will see debugging symbols, reading symbols from a.out. This is the difference what that -g made. The -g you write with GCC to create a file which would be available for debugging purpose. Is that fine? Everyone with me? Rutuja?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us try to debug this code. Now our goal is not to see whether my program is working or not. My goal is to show you how stack gets sampled. Now think of this. Like let me share an Excel spreadsheet with you. One minute. Okay. Now is this spreadsheet visible to you right now? Excel?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now let us think of that this is these each block is one statement from your code. Let us assume this. Okay. Each block in this case is statement, your program code. Now suppose this is my code, complete code, which is divided in blocks, memory blocks. Now what happens is from here I have a function call. That function, whichever is called, is having this body, function body. This is my that function. Okay, so like what happens? Your program execution start from here. It goes on, reaches here. Now what happens here? Like the control of execution should pass now from here to this line. Okay, so line. Okay, let me draw the shape. From here, you are executing this code. So control get passed here. Fine. Now, when we do say like it is going to execute this whole part now one by one. So this one would be executed one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Done. So when that execution is done, rather, it will come here. Now control should return back to the code. Correct? The original code from where you got the call. So it will come back here. And then execution will start. But now what happens with what are the things that got executed here above? What happens with it? Because suppose now I am teaching you this. Now before a while you must have seen, like I was showing you a Linux GUI, correct? Now suddenly I shifted to Windows. Now context changed. Now, if I keep the screen for 2 hours, will you be able to remember what I was talking earlier? Somewhere it should be preserved. Correct. So that is what we were saying, that it should reserve log or save to log. What current state of the code from here, like up till this. Now what it will hold then? It will hold multiple things related to your program. Now when it should be saved, because this is a temporary storage, this prologue would be a temporary storage, and that storage is referred as a stack, where this data gets stored. Now let us see, like suppose this function from here, it is having another call. So now say this is the call and this was the function. Fine. Now same thing we will have. So we'll have this kind of arrow even again. From here, that arrow will reach to this first line, and this arrow from here, when execution is done, from here it will go back here. Correct. So you can see, like when first time it was called, this initial current status should be preserved. It gets stored on a stack. Now when this function again has a call, another call. Now what about this function then? What are the lines those got executed before this call? What is the status of it? So we have to preserve that too. So for each such case, there would be something, there would be something which gets created called as stack frame. Is that fine? Are you with me? Okay. So for every function call, a stack is created. Fine. Now let us try to see from our Linux machine, like how exactly the stack gets created. Fine. Now let us try to see the stack gets created. Like say if I write bt, this bt is a command. Okay, so you write here simply help. It tells you. So if you say stack, right, undefined symbol stack. So it says what exactly do you mean by, how can I check that stack status? So you write /bt. So you write here help stack. Then it gives you different commands related to that stack aspect. Stack is made up of stack frames. GDB assigns numbers to stack frames, counting from 0 to innermost currently executing frame. Now you must have seen, like what we had main code called a function, that function in turn called another function. Now which is the current function? That would be innermost thing, innermost stack. So stack within a stack within a stack within a stack, it gets created. At any time, you can see this GDB identifies one frame as the selected frame, and variables would be looked upon or are done with respect to the selected frame only. When the program being debugged stops, GDB selects the innermost frame which is available there. OK, now if I like what are the code that we wrote? What was the entry point for our code? Our C code, what was the entry point of our code? Can somebody tell me? Which was the entry point for our code? Which function it should execute first? OK, let me show you the code. This was your code. Which was the function that it should start execution from?
Main function.
Main function. OK. So let us start this. But OK, but you said main function, correct? I assume, Malik, I heard correctly. You were talking about main function, right? So now when you said
Yes,
main,
sir.
after main you said function. Who is going to call this main? Somebody definitely must call this, correct? Main is not the function, though from user perspective, main is the function. But who calls this main? Now see, recall the command that I applied was gcc program name.c -m32-g. This was compilation process which in turn created an executable. But how many pages were there? Let me show you. So gcc dash dash save. Yeah. Now see how many files were generated. This was your original source code, correct? Now that source code was processed by the preprocessor. So that output is this. So let us see the code first. Maths-demo.c. This was your code, correct? Now this was pre-processed. This is a pre-processed version. See this. This was a pre-processed version of your C code. See how many lines are written. We wrote only top 5-10 lines, correct? This is a pre-processed version. Okay, let it be. So it would be very big file rather. Yeah, this here it ended. This is pre-processed one. Now this pre-processed version is taken and given to C compiler. What that C compiler does? C compiler creates an output called an assembly code. So GCC as a compiler took that .i file, which is a pre-processed file, and created an assembly code. So let us see what is there in that assembly code. See, we simply return our main like main function. There were 3 messages. This was your message. Enter value of I. This %d. This was for scanf, correct? Value of I is %d. This was for scanf. This was for printf. This was for printf. You can see that each of these what you wrote are created as local variables, local constants or literal constants. LC0, LC1, LC2. These are the variables internally created by the system. Now recall when we said that GDB a.out, when we haven't used -g option, it said no debugging symbol found. They are some part of it. Like one of the part is this. Then it tells global main. Main is a function. Now see how your code is written. An assembly code. This was the code generated for that C code only, which we wrote there. Okay, so let me tell next thing. Now this maths-demo.s was taken by compiler, by assembler. That assembler is gas. Yeah, sorry, man, AS. So it is known as GNU assembler gas. So generally on Linux it is found as AS. On Unix it was gas, GNU assembler. What that assembler does, assembler takes this .s and generates an object code. This one. So let us see what is that object code. It says you are not age 18. You cannot see this. But we say because whatever is prevented, we do want to see or we do wish to see. So let us further. So some part of file is not in a readable form. Correct? So you can say caret @ caret F9 and so on. But actually it is not in readable form. It is an encrypted file. Correct? How can I read that? So there is a command or there is a utility called objdump. display information from object file. So we are reverse debugging. Reverse debugging. Okay, so reverse assembly process we are doing. Okay, so let us write obj dump to see what is there in the file. Maths demo.o. Let me write pipeless so as to see it page wise. Now see, your code was converted into machine language like this, and your code was like this, written like this in Xcode. Forget this. This is created this is a machine code. Prior generating machine code, this was an instruction. This was the machine code. Object code contains only this 53, 51, so on. Somewhere you will be seeing the code written, like there is scanf, there is printf. So this was printf, correct? So like, okay, let us see whether it is main. Yeah, it is main. So you are declaring a variable, correct? So that's why this local variable is created. Fine, and then it goes on. There are two printf call and one scanf call. So one call number 1, call number 2, call number 3. Can you see 3 calls? So they are for printf, scanf, and so on. There seems to be one more call. So if you see the code, rather, let me open another window. So you can see how many function calls are there, 3. But then one can see that it is calling this main plus 63. We don't know what it is. It is doing something. There is 4D, there is 37. So if you see this 37, let us try to see where is that 37. So 0037. So we will see those functions here. So let me write this grep printf. So printf. Yeah, so like yeah, sorry. This is object code. This is not linked. It is not linked by the linker. Now that linker is called as LD. GNU linker. Now what happens is this .o is given to this LD code and which generates this a.out. And that's what, like, if I now try to check this instead of this now, if I write a.out pipe list, now you will see main here. So if I write here grep printf, so you can see there are 2 calls given for printf. Right? Similarly, if I see scanf, I can see there is a call for scanf, and these are the addresses at runtime from the library. Now you may say, how exactly we created this? These are all files, temporary files. Now let me first okay, let me delete them. Then I will show you one more time. Okay, let me delete this. So rm a.out maths demo.o maths demo.i maths demo.s. Let us delete all of them. Sorry, my bad. What it is saying? Because other files are already deleted. That's why it is saying this, because only a.out were not deleted. So if I see now this, I can see that only .c is there. Correct. LTR means display contents in a reverse order. Now, if I write GC, if I have to generate that .i file, it would not be directly generated, but I have to write -e -m32 your program name .c. This is the same output. Like if I try to see wc-l, this count, remember that it is 751 number of lines. Okay, so if I write wc, number of lines, number of characters, number of words, that's what total number of words are 16354. So if if you let us see whether can we see that ls-l. So see, this is the big file that is shown as an output to us. Yeah, match demo. Let us go above. Yeah. Uy. What is the size of demo I? 16374 bytes. Can you see that? See this one? Correct. Now here, when we wrote this 16354. So yeah, some difference is there because some characters may not be same, probably. Now this will not give you that dot I, but if you really want that, you write this greater than match demo dot I. One six three five four. Same thing we got there, correct? Am I right? Now, if I want dot S file generated, so you have not to take that dot I. You simply replace this E by capital S. This generates an assembly code. Let us see this. Can you see match demo.s? Am I right? So which command I applied? gcc-s m32 program name.c, which gave .s. Now this .s is to be taken and it should create an object code. So we will use here -c. This will generate .o file for your code. Can you see that? .o. Now later you remove this -c, you simply write this. It generates your executable. So if I want to generate this all, like is there anything missing? Probably not. So let me delete these files. Match demo.i match. Okay, first of all, Control K ls-l match demo.star. So we will keep this for our information. Okay, so let us remove all the files. All files are removed. Fine. Now let me write that command to generate all that. Like see what I did was to generate .i. What command I wrote? This was the command. Correct. Now to generate dot s, I gave command as this. Okay. To generate .o, I gave this. Okay. And to generate executable, I wrote this. Correct. And that's what I could see. These all files along with a dot out. So I can write a dot out. So that all file sizes would be displayed. Now if I remove them and if I want to generate them in a single shot, how can I do that? Simply write this gcc -- save -temps your program name match demo.c -m32. Now if you see in one shot you got all. See the difference? They are manually created by us, correct? Each one of them was manually created. This .c was our .c original one. This .i we redirected. So 16354 16354. Demo.o 1688 1688 1888 1888. Correct? And a dot out 1615680. So is that fine till this? Now let us jump to the exact thing that we want. So let us try to debug the code. So let me write here -g2. So gdb /a dot out. Now if I write bt, what it said? No stack. Now let me write breakpoint, set breakpoint. Now let me write R. Now your program execution started and it tells you like it is at this curly bracket 1. It is at this location, line number 3. Correct? That's what it shows, 3 curly bracket. Now if I write BT, then you can see there is a stack. Can you see? It is for main. Fine. Now let me write step. Let me write NI. Let me write BT. Now see this main was changed. Can you see? Main was changed. Like earlier it was hash main. It is now something in main. Fine. So let me write step. Now it is at scanf. If I write BT, it shows me this. If I write step, it is asking me value. I'm inputting value. If I write BT, only one stack. Step, BT, one stack. Step, BT, one stack. Now our program execution stops here, correct? At this bracket. So if I write say step, now let us see this BT. How many stacks are there now? How many stacks are shown? Jisa? How many stacks are shown? See below BT, how many entries do you see? Yes, Chinmay. I'm not able to hear.
Sir, is it 2 stacks?
Okay, there are 2 stacks. That means what? Now, if you recall, when I asked from where execution starts, so somebody said it is from main function. So if a function is there, then stack gets created. That's what the other stack was. This was for main. Okay, what is the stack? This was for main function. Fine, and main was called by this, and this was called by this. So you can see the order of the stacks. Correct. Now it may not be clear from this picture, but rather like if I execute, now my program got terminated, exited normally. Now if I say BT, my program is not in memory. Let me create the scenario with the kind of picture that I showed you in an Excel spreadsheet. Fine. Let us create the scenario. So Emacs maths stack demo C. This is main. Integer a equal to 10. B equal to ABC 10. Here I am saying extern ABC int. Fine. Here we'll write def. I am back in main and have value now as %d. This is B, correct? Integer B. Fine. So this is our first code. Now what it is calling? It is calling another function. Fine. It is calling another function. Now which function is that? So let us check. X2. So I am creating another code. XW maths stack. It is ABC. Okay. dot C. Now here, this is ABC integer A, because we are passing an integer there, correct? I am in ABC. I am in ABC, correct? There is a function called PQR. We are calling another function from ABC. So this ABC will replace it by PQR. And we are not passing any parameter here. You can pass it there. I'm back in ABC and returning back to main. So whenever you see the you cannot understand, you please let me know. Fine. So here I'm not writing any B. It is only calling PQR. Correct. Yes. So we said okay, some value needs to be written. So here we are writing return 100. Fine. In PQR, because this ABC should return some value. Control X, Control X3, Control XW, maths, stack, PQR dot C. Okay, now let me open the other files. Maths, stack, ABC.C here. Here your main. Maths, stack, demo. What was that? Okay, एक minute. Maths stack demo. Demo.c na, match demo.c. Okay, so we want that demo na. We have to write it. So I assume I replaced it. Emacs maths stack yeah. So let us rename it. Okay, now it will be clear. So this is our first function, which is calling PQR ABC. Okay, now let us take sorry, Control G, Control X2, Control XF, maths stack ABC.C. Correct, and this contains Control XF, maths stack PQR.C. Can you see these functions? All these three functions. Now here we have to modify here. Like this PQR needs to be changed. So this is a PQR function. We have to change this file. So we don't want this external. This is PQR. There is no parameter passed. I am in PQR. There is no function call. I am going back to ABC. Fine. And we don't want anything to return. Can you see these codes? 3 codes. Please check. Can you see that? Can you understand all these 3? Pretty simple. What was the scenario? This was main. It is calling ABC function. And ABC function is here. Okay, here. This ABC function in turn calls PQR. And PQR is not calling anything. But let us try to see how it works. So let us create maths stack demo.c maths stack abc.c. We'll link together. So that's why I'm writing in a single file only. Demo pqr maths stack pqr.c -m32 -g. Fine, I will write this. I'm not creating. By the way, what you can call it. These are warning because we haven't written include stdio.h. That's why. Fine. So if I see ls-ltr, so my executable should be generated now. Correct. This was generated. It is now currently 651. If I see file a.out, if I execute this file, you can see I'm in main, I'm in ABC, I'm in PQR, I'm in going back to ABC, I'm back in ABC, returning back to main, I'm back in main, have value now as 100. But now how will I understand that? Right? How do we understand it? So let us try to debug it and let us see. When I said that the prologue and epilogue gets created, how exactly it is created. So you can see reading symbols because we added -g. So if I write L, it will show me only main. Correct. Let me write breakpoint here main. So write BT, no stack, run. Now write BT. How many stack is there now currently? Only 1 stack. Correct. Now step. So we are starting execution from curly bracket. Integer a equal to 10. This gets executed. Then next line executed printf. This got executed. Now it will print that. It printed. Now it is calling main function. So if I that ABC function, how many stacks are there still? Main. Only 1. Now we have to call this ABC. Now where we are exactly? We are at this line. Correct? Line number 6. Now see, when I press step S, we are now in ABC. It shows you this. Can you see 3 and this? If I write BT now, there are 2 stacks. This was main. Now see, top if changed like the way that we used to do. Na? Like there was W, or there was R, then we used to place B, blue. So that's how it happened. This current stack is ABC now. This is inner stack. The definition that we were talking about. Are you with me? Rutuja, Jisa, Sheikh, Chawan, Kunal, Chinmay.
Yes, sir.
So you can
Yes,
relate
sir.
now. You can relate now, like how exactly we used to push. Correct? This push happened. Now, if I say step, we are executing printf. That got executed. Now PQR is there. So if I write BT, only 2 stacks. Now PQR it is going to execute. Now see here, we are calling this function PQR from this ABC. It is telling you that from ABC.c, there is ABC call. Now if I write step, now it is there in PQR. You can see that. Now how many stacks should be there? 3. Now see which is the top, which is the innermost now. Which is the innermost, or which is the current stack now? Current stack is PQR because we are executing function from PQR. You can see that it is executing this function math stack PQR.c. You say step, you write BT, again same thing. You say step. Now we are done. So we are saying I am going back to ABC. So step, it is executing this. So let me see how many stacks are 3. Now see these addresses are changed. This is ABC's address. This is main's address. Now current stack doesn't show the address to us. Now when this cursor, this curly bracket gets executed, it goes back to your pick ABC function. This stack should be deleted. Correct? So let me write step. So you can see that it is back to ABC. If I write BT, now see the change. Now which is the current stack? ABC. Are you with me? Fine. So if I now execute this, because it is going to go back to main now. So if I write step, write BT, step, write BT. Now curly bracket is to be executed from ABC. So step. Now we are back in main. So you can see we are back in main. Now if I write BT, the eplog got deleted. Eplog process deleted that stack. Prolog and eplog. Now if I continue execution, now this main would be finishing now, correct? So if I say step, it finished. Now control is passed to this function. libc start one. So if I write BT, these are the two stacks. Now if you don't debug, you will never understand, like even if you debug and if you don't write BT, you will never understand this stack concept. This is the operating system stack. Now this is the starting entry point for you. Okay, in an executable, and that executable is name is this ELF. Okay, by the way, only for your info, I'm writing executable and linkable file format. Sorry, I missed C. Executable and linkable file format. This is ELF. Fine. So a entry point for an ELF is underscore start, which in turn calls libc start main, which in turn calls this main, and then everything gets executed. Is that okay? Is that okay? I hope at least you must add a taste of how stack can be seen in memory. So though I cannot explore more, or I cannot show you more contents because it requires some amount of reading rather. That's why I'm limiting it here only. OK, now one thing, like how exactly on what basis we are saying that it is going to search main. So let me write this. So we had a code where we I think main math stack. Let us take ABC. We know that there is no main function added by us. We haven't added any main function, correct? So if I write this dash M32, see what it says. Undefined reference to main in this function. Can you see that? Fine.
Yes.
That only tells us that underscore start is the function, and which checks for main. And when we are trying to create an executable for this file, we know that main is not there. If I try to write less for this file, we know that main is not added there. So that definitely should give you an error. Correct? And that's what it did by showing you this. Is that fine? So understood how this stack is used actually? Any questions? Any questions? By the way, you can try, like, provided if you are having laptop with Linux and GCC compiler installed, so you can definitely try this. Okay, try this, see this video again and again, try this. Okay, you may say, will you be asked about this? Maybe for the exam perspective, I'm not going to ask anything to you about this, but at least, like, probably you may be asked in the interview, like it may happen, like if somebody is really interested in finding out or reading you completely, this could be a good question to be asked. How many stacks are there? So system OS has queue, OS has stack, both. The job scheduler takes queue, job queue, correct? And this stack is used by your executable environment called as loader. So linker creates an executable. Now when you write this a dot slash a dot out. Okay. Let me write this. So when I write this, ultimately my program got executed. That means it entered into memory, found that start point, it reached to that main, and then everything started. Correct. So you can add a scanner like get char function after every printf so that you can see like how exactly control is passing. If you don't want to debug it. Fine. Okay. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I hope you must have understood this. If not, try seeing this once again, and my suggestion would be try this at home. Okay. Generally it is said most of the time like don't try this at home, but I'm saying try this at home. See this if you can understand whatever I showed you. It is only for showing you how stack is important for an operating system. Right? Because operating system's main role is to provide execution environment to the user. An operating system permits you creation of I mean to say create stack for you. Now, okay, one thing I missed to show. Let me show that part too. I was talking about frame, na? Stack frame. Okay, so whatever that #0, #1 was shown, it was a stack frame. But the code which is responsible to generate that stack frame, let me show you that. So if I write obj dump -d sorry a dot out grep frame. So this was the routine which was this was the routine which was supposed to create the frame for you, stack frame for you. See, because if I search stack, then it doesn't show me this. Nothing would be shown. So it is called as stack frame. Now suppose if you generate this and you write nm. So man nm. It lists symbols from the object value. So simply write nm a dot out. So let me write list because this would be very big list. So you will see your function names, variable names are added. Now variable names are local. That's why local variables would not be shown. So ABC is there. Okay. Then can you see frame dummy to see here frame dummy? Correct, frame dummy. So let me go below. Sorry. So let me go below. So you will see that printf, pqr, main, libc start main underscore start. Correct. And your code, if you recall, is divided into 3 parts that we saw in our OS course. How do you see that? You write size a dot out. So these are the different sections added: text section, data section, and PSS block starting with symbol. Fine. Okay, so this is what I wanted you to see or understand. So if you have any questions, you definitely can ask me.